guys, welcome to Jack's Beautiful You. In today's video, I'm super excited because we're going to be talking about designer perfumes. So these are my top 10 designer perfumes in my collection right now. These are the ones that I love, the best of the best, and the ones that I recommend the most to you. Now, I did just recently do my top 10 niche perfumes in my collection. If you missed that video, I will leave it in the description box in case you're interested, but today is all about designer perfumes. If you're new here, hi, my name is Jackie. I do mostly perfume, beauty, and makeup on this channel. If you are into that kind of content, I would love it if you would subscribe. And of course, to my returning subscribers, thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you. You guys are amazing. All right, if you're interested in seeing my top 10 designer perfumes, then just keep on watching. Okay, these are in no particular order. I did not rank these. I love these all for different reasons, but these are my top 10 right now. I have a lot of perfumes in my collection that I absolutely love, so this list, it was a little difficult for me to pick, but I think I picked and made the right choices. So the first one I want to start off with is by Chanel, and this is Coco Mademoiselle. This is the intense version. Now, I love the original Coco Mademoiselle, but the intense version is where it's at for me. I like this even more because there's more patchouli and there's more vanilla. Now, the patchouli that's in Chanel fragrances is definitely the type of patchouli that I like. I like that clean, warm patchouli that makes perfumes smell deep and dark and sexy, and that's what's in here. There's also a bunch more vanilla than in the original, and it's not quite as citrusy. It's citrusy in the opening, but not quite as zesty, I would say. So this is more of a fall, winter Coco Mademoiselle. This is a deeper, darker, sexier version, and I absolutely love it. Now, I wouldn't say that the performance is any better because the original Coco Mademoiselle is a beast already, and this is also a beast fragrance. Performance is a non-issue. So you have Sicilian orange in here, you have bergamot, you have lemon in here. In the middle you have rose, you have some fruity notes and some jasmine. So you definitely get some citrus at the top. It definitely has Coco Mademoiselle DNA. I mean, this smells like Coco Mademoiselle just with a couple of changes. And then in the base you have patchouli and Madagascar vanilla, you have tonka bean, white musk, and labdaman. Again, the patchouli and the vanilla is really amped up in here. Yeah, I just love this version. So beautiful. Highly, highly recommend. Okay, I do have two Chanel fragrances in this video. I can't help myself. I absolutely love Chanel fragrances, and I had to put this one in here. I did recently do a video where I talked about all the Chanel perfumes I have in my collection. So if you're interested in Chanel perfumes, I will also link that in the description box. So this is Chance, and this is the Tendre Eau de Parfum. This is absolutely beautiful. This is such an easy wear. This is one of my easiest reach perfumes that I have in my collection. This is super classy, super feminine, and it just smells incredible. It's not overly complex at all. So in the opening you have quince and grapefruit, so you do get a little bit of a citrusy blast, not too much though. And then there's rose and jasmine in the middle, so this is quite floral. But then you have white musk in the base, and the white musk is very prominent in here. It makes it smell almost kind of like clean, like a clean skin type of situation. So to me, this smells like a slightly citrusy, floral, clean, almost like a shampoo, like a really luxurious shampoo with some citrusy and floral notes in it. It's just so beautiful. It's very refreshing. I love wearing this in the spring and summer. I don't feel like this is too heavy for the heat. I do like to wear this one in the spring and summer because it just makes me feel, fresh and clean without it actually being a freshie or like a soapy fragrance. The EDT is even more so of a like shampoo vibe than this one is. So the EDT version is fresher and it has like a more of a shampoo-y kind of vibe to it than this one does. But this one still reminds me of like a luxurious, clean shampoo that smells amazing, and it just makes me feel refreshed in like warmer weather for some reason. Now, I will say I prefer the way that the EDP smells over the EDT, and I also like the performance of the EDP way more than the EDT. It's a moderate fragrance, but if I spray this on my clothes, I can smell it on me all day with a really pretty little scent bubble around me. I really don't have any issues with the performance of the EDP. So even though this is such a simple and really not complex fragrance, it is one of my all-time favorites. one of my just most feminine and classy, sophisticated, easy reach perfumes I have in my collection, and I can't be without it. Okay, I'm not going to talk about this one for too long. I have talked about this one so much. This is by Giorgio Armani, and this is My Way. This is one of my all-time favorite perfumes in my collection. I can't be without it. I've told you guys before that if I had a signature scent, this would probably be it. I've told this story a couple of times, but in case you're new, I actually didn't care for this fragrance when I first tried it. I tried it at Sephora. A sales associate told me I needed to check it out. I smelled it on a tester strip, and I was like, it's okay. You know, I didn't really love it. I wasn't overly impressed. It seemed kind of boring and too floral for me, and I just kind of moved on. Fast forward a couple of months, I ended up getting a deluxe sample of this and fell in love, which just goes to show that you do have to try fragrances on your skin, because I'm madly in love with this fragrance, but I remember when I first smelled it, I just was not impressed, but now I can't get enough of it. This is a fantastic performing fragrance. This lasts all day with a very beautiful sillage around you. No issues with the performance. This fragrance has never failed me. You know, sometimes I pick a fragrance and I realize even though I love that fragrance, I might not be in the mood for it. Like I picked the wrong fragrance for the day. This one has never done that. No matter what season, no matter what occasion, no matter what, if I choose this as my scent of the day, I always enjoy it. This is very heavy on the tuberose. Tuberose is the star of the show. So in the top you have orange blossom and bergamot, which I do pick up quite a bit of the orange blossom in here as well. And then you have tuberose and Indian jasmine. To me, the tuberose is front and center, and it is very like bubblegum tuberose. It's pretty bubblegummy. You definitely have to like that in your tuberose. If you like a more toned down tuberose, or if you like more of a buttery tuberose, this is pretty bubblegummy, okay? But I love it. That's how I love my tuberose, and this is what made me realize that I was such a fan of tuberose, especially the kind that smells like bubblegum. And then in the base you have Madagascar vanilla, you have white musk, and Virginian cedar. I pick up a little bit of the musk, definitely a lot of the vanilla. I do get a slight woodiness in this fragrance as well, but mostly this is a bubblegummy tuberose. It is very sweet. It is super beautiful. This makes me feel like a pretty girl. This is Giorgio Armani, My Way. Up next we have by the House of Guerlain. This is Mon Guerlain Intense. I love this perfume and I've loved it for a long time. So when I first started collecting perfumes and really getting serious about perfumes and deciding to talk about perfumes on my channel, this is one of the first fragrances that really just blew my mind, and I still feel that way to this day. This is beautiful. This is a 10 out of 10 in every single category. Packaging, 10 out of 10. I love the bottle. The color of the juice, 10 out of 10. The performance, 10 out of 10. It is a beautiful fragrance. It lasts all day. Definitely has a sexy, wonderful, sweet sillage scent bubble around you. I've never had an issue with the performance on this. It's fantastic. And then the scent itself is to die for. So you do have lavender, you have mandarin orange, and you have bergamot in the opening. And then you have two different types of vanilla. You have Tunisian vanilla and Madagascar vanilla. So this does have a lot of vanilla in it. There's also iris, there's jasmine, sambac, and rose. The base, though, is what makes this for me. I mean, the vanilla is definitely part of it, but the base in here is just, oh, it's perfect. There is patchouli and licorice in the base, and I love that combination because it smells so dark and deep and seductive. Now, I love the original Mon Guerlain, but the intense version is the sexy version. This is the date night scent. This is the ultimate classy, feminine, sexy date night scent. It's not like sexy in a like naughty kind of way. It's a classy sexy, if that makes sense. And I just love this fragrance. Not that I'm against naughty sexy, okay? I'm not against that, but this is something I would feel comfortable wearing to a very formal date, you know, a very classy and upscale dinner. I think this is kind of a man killer perfume. My husband really loves this one. I think that this is just ultimate sexy feminine scent. and I love it. Okay, now let's talk about naughty sexy, okay? Naughty sexy, not classy sexy, naughty sexy. That is by Paco Rabanne, and that is Olympéa. This is loud, it's sweet, it's salty, it's sexy, it's unapologetically sexy. It is my favorite summertime fragrance for date night. Actually, you know, honestly, I can wear this anytime in the summer. I can wear this during the day. I can wear this at night. I don't care. If I'm going to be in like a salty sea air type of environment, so I live by the ocean and that's kind of the vibe of the air around me. It's very like salty. Salty sea air is the climate that I live in, and this perfume just fits perfectly with where I live. Absolutely perfect. So if you like salty vanillas, salty ambers, and you haven't tried this, you need to, because it is amazing. I can't get enough of this. Now I know not everybody loves this fragrance. I think this is one of those perfumes that either vibes with your skin chemistry or it doesn't. And for me, it vibes with my skin chemistry and it goes with the climate that I live in, and I love it so, so much. Top notes, you have water jasmine, green mandarin, and ginger. So there is a little tiny bit of kind of like a spice in the opening from the ginger, not too much though. And then you have vanilla and salt in the mid, which you get a ton of the vanilla and salt. This is an addicting fragrance. And like I said, because of that salt in here, it reminds me of the salty sea air in the summertime here, and because of that I can wear it during the day. It is very sweet, but it never gets cloying for me because it just fits my environment. Base notes, you have ambergris, cashmere wood, and sandalwood. Ambergris can kind of come across as salty as well, so I feel like there's a double dose of saltiness in here. I do get compliments on this one. I've been complimented by men on this one, and I think this is another one. If it works with your skin, I think this is another one of those kind of like men killer sexy type of fragrances, and it's pretty loud, it's pretty strong. I've never had a problem at all with the performance. It will definitely last you throughout your day, and you have the most intoxicating scent bubble around you. So this is by Paco Rabanne, and that's Olympéa. Okay, another one I don't want to talk about too much because I talk about it a lot, but at least I'm consistent, right? This is by Valentino. This is Valentino, Donna, Born in Roma. I know this one is super hyped up on YouTube, but it's worth the hype if you like this fragrance, right? I mean, if you love this fragrance, you're going to completely agree with the hype, but if you don't like it, then you're going to think it's overhyped. For me personally, I am on team Valentino, Donna, Born in Roma. I love this fragrance, you guys. I think it smells absolutely incredible. This is another 10 out of 10 fragrance in like every single way for me. The packaging is amazing. I love the studs of this bottle, and I love the pink juice inside. I also really think the longevity, this lasts all day on me. I have no issues with the performance, especially when I spray it on my clothing. This is also a compliment getter as well. I get complimented by men when I wear this, or I have been complimented by men. It's not like every single time I wear this, like men are just running up to me and complimenting me or anything like that, but I have been complimented by men when I have worn this perfume before, and I just think it's an amazing fragrance. In the opening, you have blackcurrant, you have pink pepper, and bergamot, so you do get this kind of like blackcurrant kind of berry vibe. I don't pick up much of the pink pepper in here. For me, I just get a lot of blackcurrant. There's jasmine in here. There's jasmine, jasmine sambac, and jasmine tea. So this is a very jasmine heavy fragrance, but to me it's not too much. It's not like too white floral for me. It's blended well enough that it's not too heavy basically, or too heady at all. And then in the base you have bourbon vanilla, which I love, and then you also have cashmere and gaiac wood. The gaiac wood in here is maybe what makes people not like this fragrance so much, but on my skin it just smells like a woody, like a light woody scent. It's not over the top or overpowering to my nose or on my skin. My skin mostly pulls the vanilla and jasmine and then that black currant at the top. So this smells incredible on me, if I do say so myself. And it performs really well as well. Like I said, I get all day wear out of this, and I've never had an issue with the fragrance. Beautiful scent bubble around me, compliment getter. This is the fragrance that I took with me to Florida on a trip with my husband, and I will forever associate this perfume with that. That's what I love about perfumes, because you can attach a perfume with a memory and you will remember that, I don't know, you just can have like sentimental attachment to that time and that fragrance, and that just makes, I don't know, that just makes perfume so much fun in my opinion. But this is the one I took with me to Florida with my husband. We had an amazing time, so every time I wear this perfume I always think of that trip. I always think of my husband and just how lucky I am that I found such an amazing man, and I don't know, it just makes me so happy. I know that's super sappy, super corny. But it's true. I mean, it just makes me think of my husband. It makes me, I don't know, feel all warm and fuzzy inside. And that's what I love about perfumes. So definitely love Valentino Donna Born in Roma. If you like sweet, feminine, flirty, but still sexy type of perfumes, then I highly recommend. All right, up next we have by Yves Saint Laurent. This is Libre Intense. This is an interesting fragrance, you guys. I love this fragrance. I just got this. If you're wondering why the bottle is full to the brim and I'm telling you it's a top 10, it's because this is a new bottle. I just got this, but it has already risen to the absolute top of the class, the best of the best. I love this fragrance. This is so good, and I don't even know what I was thinking when I said I didn't like this. When this first came out, I remember going to Sephora and I remember smelling it on a tester strip and thinking it smelled awful. I just couldn't stand it. It wasn't even like, oh, that's just okay. It was a absolute no. Couldn't stand the way it smelled. I'm not really sure why. But not too long ago, a couple months ago, I was out shopping. I decided to give it another try and fell madly in love. Had to have a bottle. Bought a bottle, brought it home, and I am just absolutely in love with this fragrance. Now, I have tried the original. I don't care for the original much, but the intense version is definitely where it's at for me. So this has lavender, mandarin orange, and bergamot in the opening. There's even more lavender in the mid, and then there's also orange blossom, jasmine sandalwood, and orchid. And then in the base you have Madagascar vanilla, which there is a ton of Madagascar vanilla in here. A lot of vanilla. This is a very vanilla forward fragrance. I feel like that's the main accord in this perfume. And then there's tonka bean, which might add to that. And then there's ambergris and vetiver. This is definitely a strong and very good performing fragrance. You will not have any issues with the performance of this. As a matter of fact, I'd recommend that you just kind of take it easy. Don't overspray this fragrance and kind of see where you're at, because I can see if you overspray this perfume could be cloying. It could just be too much because it is very powerful. It's a very powerful, chic. This is a very modern boss woman. I'm in charge. I'm super chic. I have a power suit on and I know what I'm doing type of fragrance. I love the color of the juice and I love the YSL on the bottle. I think this bottle is so pretty. Not even pretty. It's not pretty. It's just like the most elegant, chic looking bottle. Oh, I love it. Another fragrance I have had for a while that I talk about quite often. It was in my last top 10 for life and it'll probably be in my next one. I'm not sure. But this is also a naughty, sexy fragrance. It's not a classy, sexy fragrance. It's a naughty, sexy fragrance. Probably the naughtiest of them all. And this is by Jean-Paul Gaultier. This is Scandal. I love this fragrance. I don't wear this very often, but when I'm in the mood for it, I am in the mood for it. So this is one of my favorite fall scents of all time. I love this in the fall for date night. It is sexy. It is unapologetically sexy. It is a honey bomb. Now this is the original Scandal. They have a lot of flankers of Scandal, but I like the original. Some people think it's too much. It is very, very sweet and it has a lot of honey in it. So you have to be a fan of honey. Some people have said that this is a linear fragrance because the honey is so strong that that's really all they can smell. But to me, I get a lot of the notes in here. It's not a linear fragrance. I actually think it's a very beautiful and well done fragrance because I pick up a lot of the other notes. So top notes, you have blood orange and mandarin orange. I definitely pick up the orange in the opening. And then in the mid, you have honey, gardenia, orange blossom, jasmine, and peach. Definitely get the honey, get a little bit of the peach. Very, very sweet, very intoxicating. You do not want to spray too much of this or it will be too much. It'll be cloying and it'll be too much. And then in the base you have beeswax, you have caramel, you have patchouli, and licorice, which is my favorite. I love that combination in the base of my perfumes because it makes it so deep and dark and sexy. It gives it depth. Very appropriate for date night. Definitely a man killer fragrance. Probably not like a first date fragrance. The third date fragrance, if you know what I mean. That is by Jean Paul Gaultier, Scandal. So up next we have by Carolina Herrera. This is Very Good Girl. This is my favorite Good Girl flanker. I've told you guys before, I don't hate the original OG Good Girl, but I don't love it either. I'm kind of indifferent about it. I could take it or leave it. So I do actually like the bottle itself. That's another polarizing thing. Some people hate the stilettos and some people love them. I actually really like it, and I really like the red one. I think the red one is pretty and I like it. So anyway, the scent is absolutely amazing. If you like rose, if you like fruity rose vanilla scents, I highly recommend this one. So in the opening you have lychee and red currant, so you do have a bit of like kind of a tartness in the opening, which some people compare this fragrance to Delina, and I have actually heard some people compare this to Delina exclusive as well. I get what they're saying. There is definitely the same vibe of fragrance, like it's the same vibe, same scent family, but I do find them to be different. I don't actually like Delina, the OG Delina, because it's super sour and tart in the opening. This one is tart, but not to that extreme. And then you have rose in the mid, and to me, this is more of like a fresh cut rose. But what keeps it from being too like vintagey or too mature, because sometimes I find fresh cut roses to be a bit mature. What keeps this from being that way is the base. So the base, you have vanilla and vetiver, and to me I get a big dose of vanilla. The vanilla in here is very creamy and it kind of softens up that rose, and it's amazing. It's amazing. So the performance of this is fantastic. This lasts all day. Another one, you have to be careful not to overspray her. It can be a bit much, but I can wear this all year round. I can wear this in summer, spring, winter, fall. It's a very good performing perfume, so it'll cut through the cold, but it's also, if you don't spray too much, it's also fruity and rosy enough that it fits in the summertime. So that's Carolina Herrera, Very Good Girl. All right, you guys, last but certainly not least, we have by Viktor&Rolf. This is Flowerbomb Nectar. So this is my favorite Flowerbomb flanker that I have tried, and I think this one is tons and tons of fun. So honestly, I think this is my most fun fragrance in my collection. It is super sweet, so you have to like sweet fragrances, but I also think this one is really unique, and I think it's underrated. I don't hear enough people talking about this. So what makes this unique is in the opening you have gunpowder, you have cassis and bergamot. That gunpowder is super unique in my opinion. I don't have any other perfumes that have gunpowder in the opening, and it gives it kind of like this, almost kind of a slightly metallic, some people describe it as a little bit smoky. I don't really get smoky. I don't like smoky perfumes, like ashtray smoky, cigarette smoky. I'm not into that at all. This just kind of has a tiny metallic touch, but don't think like synthetic. It's not like, you know how Mancera, or really, yeah, Mancera and Montal, they have kind of like that metallic synthetic note in some of their perfumes. This isn't like that. This is different. It's kind of a cross between a metallic, smoky note without it feeling synthetic. It's really super interesting. It's very, very sweet. In the mid, you have osmanthus, orange blossom, and jasmine. I do pick up quite a bit of that orange blossom in here. There is definitely the Flowerbomb DNA in here, but they are different for sure. Different enough that you could justify owning both if you really like Flowerbomb, but you want a little bit of a twist. This is a bit sweeter. It's a bit more unique with that gunpowder in the opening. In the base, you have vanilla, tonka bean, benzoin, and there is patchouli in here. So it is a sexy, deeper, darker, warmer kind of scent. The performance of this is outstanding. This is a monster of a perfume. You can't overspray this because you will smell this on you for days. This lasts all day, definitely has a projection. People are going to be able to smell you. I can't wear this in the summer, it's too much, but fall and winter, oh, I love wearing this. This is a sexy, flirty, girly perfume, but mostly, more than anything, I think it's fun. It really is. It's like It puts a smile on my face every single time I wear it. If you like Flowerbomb, get your nose on Flowerbomb Nectar and see if you like this flanker. Yeah, it's just so much fun. It just makes me smile. It makes me happy. It puts me in a good mood. So that is by Viktor&Rolf. That is Flowerbomb Nectar. All right, you guys, and that is it for today's video. Those are my top 10 designer fragrances. Let me know in the comment section what your favorite designer fragrances are. I love to hear from you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. I hope everybody is having an amazing day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!